Let me get my serious face on. Bring the camera on in closer. I've got something to tell you. It's not the bandwidth. Screwed that up.
I was doing a good face and everything the whole time.
Oh, it was right. It's not the band. Okay. Gosh dang it.
Still use it.
Still use it. Oh, why did I close that? Okay. Serious face. All right. Go ahead and bring the camera in on a close-up. I've got something to tell you.
I hear your deep voices and I can't even go for it. I'm ready.
All right. I just wanted to let you know it's not the size of the bandwidth. It's how you use it.
I mean, that was... I thought it was funnier just your approach to it than
Dude,
the joke itself.
I couldn't keep a straight face. Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to show the first one we did, but that was the second one. Was good
Maybe.
Too.
And just in case that wasn't loud enough, if I was whispering too softly, I was saying it's not the size of the bandwidth, but how you use it. Ooh. You got to have the ooh at the end.
Yep.
Zingers. All right. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Hardware I.O. We are excited. Oh. Why? This is not Hardware I.O. Man, you might have to start doing the intros. Jeez.
You're good at it, though.
Welcome back. I'll just leave that in, whatever. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Nerdy. Oh, with your hosts, your two favorite nerdists. That's the geniuses at work here. You have me, Justin, aka Prom Ross, and then the Slayer of Warcraft, Colby.
Representing.
Yeah. Represented. All right. Welcome back, guys. Just recorded a Halloween special. Threw some fun facts out there and just talked about some good movies that we like and got scared of and recommended. Definitely check out that other video. It's pretty good. Starting off, I want to say we expanded our reach a little bit. We obviously are on YouTube. We got onto iTunes podcast. We got onto Spotify. And as of today, or when we recorded this, we got onto iHeartRadio. So getting to the point where you realistically could get this anywhere you get your podcasts. The next one's going to be Amazon. I think it would just be great if you could walk into your home and say, hey, I should say this soft just in case anybody has a device next to them when they're listening to this.
Yeah, you should.
Hey, Alexa, put on Talking Nerdy all night, baby.
So, funny thing about that, I actually told my kids about that tonight, and they were putting them to bed, and I was like, oh yeah, and then we're gonna be like, I'm like, hey Alexa, play Talking Nerdy, and Alexa goes, okay, playing something dirty, and I was like,
Oh,
Rachel's like, what did you say? And I was like, oh. And so, yeah, we had to go shut it off Alexa really quick. So, make sure you say it correctly because...
Yeah, if not, you're welcome.
Yeah. No, you're not. Yeah, because my kids listen to ASMR at night. So...
I gotcha. I mean, that's about as dirty as you can get anyway.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Just some scratching on the microphone.
They listen to some pretty intense ASMR just like that, and I can't handle that.
Some drinking of the cauldron.
Yeah, like this. I'll show you real quick. Sorry, this is...
Oh, that's how it's done.
I don't know. Did you hear it?
Your throat was in my ears.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, dude, it was just...
Yeah, that's what they listen to, and I don't enjoy it, but teach them.
Gotcha. But you listen to food chewing.
One guy,
Ben Dean or
Ben
whatever.
Dean, he's awesome.
He never drinks, never throws the mic down his throat.
Well, you can hear him eat pretty good.
Yeah.
But
oh, that's true. Well, actually, in that video you showed me the pizza one, he was pounding down those little juice bottles or whatever they were.
yeah, those water, I don't know, whatever
Some
it was.
South Korean drink thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could hear like the gulping and whatnot.
Yeah,
right?
which is kind of cool, kind of weird.
Is it that weirds you out, but the chewing doesn't?
I mean, the chewing, it just depends, like, what they're chewing. If it's like, if I enjoy it, I think I'm going to like the chewing.
Sure, right? But if it's like Five Guys burgers, you're like,
I love Five Guys.
oh.
You don't like Five Guys?
No, I do.
Okay.
I do. But I think in that case, all you're going to be hearing is like a greasy mess.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good visual, that's for dang sure.
I hope it's not.
No. So this is going to be, we're going to be talking about a little bit of stuff later on. Like Squid Games, I will spoil it. We haven't finished it yet. We're working on it. We are fathers, husbands with busy lives, and
And our wives fall asleep really early, so they want to watch it with us. So it's really hard when they go to bed at 10:30.
Yeah. Here is my situation every night. Hey, babe, do you want to go watch this movie with me? We can lay Mila down and watch this movie that you've been waiting to see, or TV show that you've been waiting to see. And I'll be like, yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. So we'll get on the couch, get comfy, and I'll pop on, let's just say Squid Games. And I want to say about 5 minutes later, I look over and I just see. I'm like, well, this was a fun night.
Do you finish the movie or do you stop it? Because technically it's her fault.
Sometimes I see myself to the couch because I do finish it, but I am always willing to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my rule on it, is if I do finish something, it's because in my head I'm already like, is this good enough to rewatch? Because that's what I'm going to have to do. And so if I do finish it, I loved it, and I will gladly rewatch it, and I'll act surprised at certain spots, But that's kind of my justification, because sometimes movies especially are truly like cinematic adventures to me. Like I get hooked, I get drawn into them, and I get immersed. And when that happens, tough luck if you fell asleep.
I'm with you 100%. It'll be up till 2 a.m. It does not matter. If there's a movie I'm into, I will watch it on a work night, school night, whatever. It does not matter.
It's just it's a commitment sometimes, and then you just gotta see it through.
Almost every movie I'm actually into, I will do that.
Yeah,
because
sometimes, like, obviously this is a regular thing, the wife's falling asleep, so I kind of, because there's plausible denial, or what I'm talking about, but sometimes when I'm watching a really good movie, I won't even break eye contact with the screen to look over to see if she fell asleep. I'll just, 5 minutes into it, I'm like, yep, I'm not hearing anything from her. She's probably asleep. Just keep looking at the screen just in case.
Yep.
And then in the morning, I can say, oh, you were asleep? I didn't even realize that.
It's a good movie, didn't you think?
Yeah. I thought you were awake with me. You were moving, and yeah. Sorry, babe. We'll rewatch it. Yeah. So that's kind of how it goes in this house and whatnot. And yeah. But so even with that, I haven't finished Squid Games, but you were on episode 3.
I finished episode 3 on 2 nights ago.
I will say we watched episode 4. That's where we're at. We just watched 1, and holy cow,
changes pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, okay. Actually, yeah. No, it does. It changes quite a bit because there's. I'm not going to talk about it, but I want to build it up for you because it's exciting. There's 2 games in this next episode.
Oh wow!
Not 2 structured games, but there's 2 games.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to go on episode 2 and 3 real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So episode 2 was when they they had the vote
to stay or go.
Yeah. Which that was crazy, and they actually got to go. And whoever the game maker is a genius, because he knows the addiction. They have the addiction, and they see the money.
Money drives people.
And that was the scary part. He knew he played them so smart, and 83% or 93% came back?
Yeah, some one of those 2, yeah.
To watch them in the real world, they say, our life still sucks, so why be here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they have miserable lives anyway. They're gonna either end up in jail or die anyway, because they all kind of seem to, not all of them, but a lot of them owe money to bad people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, am I going to die out here, or am I going to possibly die in there, or walk away with tons of money?
Yeah, I mean, so they all, 93% of them think that it's better to risk their lives to not live like that. Which, after watching the first episode, the second episode, yeah, that kind of, it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to say it. Who would ever, you'd want to leave, you want them to leave, and then you're like, gosh, all the bad people are still coming after them. They're not gonna stop.
Nope. Yep. And it gave them time to really think about the Squid Games.
Mm-hmm.
They're first brought in there, and they're like, holy crap, people are dying when they're eliminated, and it's shocking. They're like, no, I don't want this anymore. And I think leaving gave them time to really think about it, and it's like, well, hold up, these are kids' games. They're clearly breaking down the rules for you. You just have to listen, and when you don't listen or when you do something bad, you're gonna die. So it kind of gives them a little bit of hope. It's like, well, I'll go back and I'll just play the game, and there's that chance I could win.
Yeah. So shout outs to the game maker, because that was a genius move. Genius.
Very psychological.
Very psychological. Yeah, loved it. And then we once again see what kind of the main character at the time is Jiyoung.
Mm-hmm.
Just same type of guy, just trying to bum money off of anyone. Just
yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
That
right.
guy.
Taking money from his mom.
Taking money from his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to take money from his baby mama.
And that was the whole episode too, right? Like they leave and then they come back in the same episode.
The very end of the episode, they are coming back.
Yep. Okay. And so they get back, and I think that's also when you get to see the island, right?
Yes. You get to see him go on a boat, and then the cop sneaks on.
Which explains it, because the whole time I was watching the first one, I was like, this place is massive.
Mm-hmm.
You have gunshots going off.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to hear it, especially in a busy area, like where it made it look like it was going to be at. And then it's like, it pans out and it's like, hold up, this guy's got tons of money, built this facility on an island. That makes sense why you can just have rapid gunfire, people dying, nobody's going to come out and look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very smart, tactical. Wonder what he did for a living, or does for a living, because
yeah,
he's got to do something with some cash.
Yeah, right. He makes, everybody over there makes a couple million a year, so he must make billions a year.
Maybe he makes billions.
If you don't know what we're referencing, we do break down their, what would you even call that? We break down their currency compared to ours and their annual salaries over there. Just to, I think that really brought it into perspective. What we're watching, because honestly, when you see millions and billions on the board, it sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
But that's us thinking about our currency, and it weighs out differently over there. So that means 2 was a good backstory, not a filler, but it was a necessary episode. So you can see like where these people are coming from, that they do have a choice. And it makes it more real when they're allowed to go back to their lives, and it's like, oh, their lives do suck, and that's what you said. It's like their lives do suck, and they're probably gonna get killed anyway. So let's just go back and play.
They did put themselves in that situation, though.
They did 100%.
So, yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
No, I didn't mind too. Backstories are okay sometimes. I thought it was a good backstory, that a necessary backstory in Squid Games.
Yeah, you could almost have just completely built up the show, like just in progression, like that. The second episode could have been the first one, and then it just could have got awesome from there.
Yeah, they could have followed. Yeah, they could have followed like 5 different people in their lives, and like the girl. They could have done the girl. Yeah, before she got screwed over. And where she's coming from, and why she in debt.
I will say, even in the 4th episode, she's still kind of a wild card.
I was gonna say wild card too.
Yeah, I can't get a read on her. She's very quiet. Obviously, she had a run-in with the bad guy that's in there, the bigger thug guy
with the weird tattoo.
Yeah.
What tattoo is that?
I don't know. Let's pull up a thing of him.
Yeah, that's I know what you're talking. I don't know. Yeah, and then she's from North Korea.
Yes, right. Ho Young. And then you got Lee Young, Gong Yu, and Ha Young Jun.
You're getting them all correct. Good job.
Oh wait, those are the actors' names. So the girl in it is I could have made a joke there. So the girl that we're talking about is Kang Se. Probably butchering that. And then Sunggi Hung, whatever, is the main actor as the guy, male role. we shared our thoughts on him. And then the thug guy.
Oh, you just had him.
That was him, huh? That dude is Zhang Diak-su.
That sounds perfect.
Zhang Diak-su. I'm gonna punch him in because I want to see him as that character. Diak-su. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
That do we have a side shot?
Neck tattoo.
It's like a
There you go. That's a good one.
a snake.
Huh.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was like a honey badger or something.
Honey badger don't care.
Slippery little snaky snake. Snake. How does that thing go?
I don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Slippery little snaky snake.
I think you can play a clip of that, can't you?
Yeah, probably. I think it's just a vine or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't sound right when I say it.
Slippery little snaky snake. Yeah.
That's
What's
not
up?
what I was talking about, but yeah, that works too.
Oh, okay. But so she's a wild card. And maybe she ends up being nothing. I'm not far enough to know, but she's still at that like mysterious stage. She gets brought in, has few lines, but she seems like she's going to be crucial at some point, I would think.
So episode 3.
Episode 3 was interesting.
Interesting, very interesting.
And you get it allows your mind to wander a little bit. And that's so 3 is kind of where full circle, where I was kind of leaning towards what Tiff was saying about the old guy, number 1, right? Because they go in there to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
You get the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that in the very first episode, them playing that circle, triangle, square game.
Squid Game.
The Squid Game. And then there's that food cart guy next to them out in the field.
Yep.
And then that's why I almost wonder if maybe he was like the food cart guy, or maybe one of the kids that's now all grown up. And but yeah, there obviously there's some relation to that scene, and maybe I need to go back and watch it and see if the kids say each other's names at all in it. But that made me I was agreeing with Tiff. I was like, yeah, she might be right. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of the third episode? It was intense.
Yeah, so she snuck around with that girl that was really yelling the whole time.
I hate that
I did
character.
too. I did not like her at all. She will die. I can guarantee it.
I will say she's just as obnoxious in the 4th episode. They focus on her a fair bit in the 4th episode.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like her. Yeah, she does her bathroom scene, and then the girl sees, what was it? It was, what were they making? They were making,
honeycombs is what they called it.
Yep, honeycomb. And so she didn't know what it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I mean, it was
weird to see those guys just in there baking.
Yeah, just in their baking and their masks and everything. That was kind of weird. And then, you had that one police officer who was undercover, and he was just kind of going through it. And he was in his little room that they kind of treated them like prisoners as well.
100%.
So it's like, I don't know all about them either, because those ones, his characters didn't have guns, they didn't have anything. They just were pretty much herders.
Yeah, they're the circles.
Mm-hmm. They just herded everyone. That's all their job was that I noticed.
Yeah, they're kind of just, they're probably like the guys that just keep things flowing, right? Mm-hmm. If somebody needs to be brought into the game, they go get them. There's obviously a crude term for that type of position, like a shop explicit or a explicit boy or whatever. But yeah, those guys are just kind of like the ones that do things that are asked to be done. And did you pick up though on the military aspect? Because now you are where I was when we were talking about it.
Yeah, because one guy, the police officer took off his mask, or just said he did, and then you can't do that. You know the rules.
Mm-hmm.
It was very. I could see it being organized, but it's like I also see it kind of being like a cult. Like you want to be in this cult, and you have to follow their rules 100% to get into the cult, to get
leaning
upgraded,
that way,
to get upgraded.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so it's. But I just wonder have we have we seen any characters? Have we seen any of their any faces yet
Of the masked
of
people.
the masked people?
No.
So we don't know age, anything about them.
No, actually.
Because the one person that died was the police officer, correct? Or did he not die?
No.
Was that just a random kid?
Yeah.
Okay, I mixed.
Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about in the room where they're playing the honeycomb game, and the one masked guy does die. I honestly thought it was the officer when that played down,
too.
and but it's
not.
You find out it's not.
Okay.
But that is the first time you see one of them get hurt, and does his mask? He does take his mask off.
Mm-hmm.
He does take his mask off.
He does.
Well, now it looks like we think that they all look the same, but they don't. Right?
I know.
You didn't want me to throw that out there.
I didn't want to say it.
I gotta throw jabs at us. We'll jab at everybody else. We gotta jab at ourselves. Obviously, they don't all look the same. I'm joking. But yeah. So when he does take his mask off, the leader guy comes out. Right? He makes a.
Mm-hmm.
He makes himself
known. He was
known.
pissed.
Yeah, and he ends up killing. He was a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a circle. Ends up killing one of the guys. So that is when you do see one of their faces. And he was actually a young guy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember that. He was a very young guy.
Mm-hmm. Very young.
Yep. And so I wonder if all these guys, all of them are like really young.
They just want to get into
Maybe
this
it is
cult.
like a cult. Yeah, maybe it is like a cult.
And you have to pay, you have to, serve, and then you can finally upgrade or move up by,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, I don't know. Also,
Don't let us know in the comments on this one because we're not done with the show.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We will be eventually, promise.
Mm.
And
We'll
then
get there.
if you backtrack a little bit, when they had the 4 signs.
Yeah, okay.
So they had the star, triangle,
Palm tree.
umbrella,
That's what it was. Yeah,
umbrella, and circle, I said?
Yeah, there was circle.
Circle.
Circle, star, triangle, umbrella.
Okay. So his friend's an a-hole.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Had a chance to stop him
Mm-hmm.
and didn't.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Well, he just, one less person is what he's thinking.
Right.
But also, the main character at the moment is an idiot still.
He's the licking?
No, that was genius, but
Yeah.
he's just too, yeah, he's just like all over the place, like too happy to be there, and it's,
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't.
So at the point where you're at, his buddy's character does kind of change a little bit in the 4th one, but up until that point, he does see his best friend or just distant friend
Probably his best friend
as like this. He puts him on a pedestal. He thinks he's
Mhm.
just this amazing guy. He's bragging about him to pretty much anybody they meet. They're like, oh, he went to business school or whatever, and he's a very smart, well-off guy. And I get that that's the way his friend portrays himself, but it's like, hey, maybe pay attention to what your friend's doing, his actions he's taking, his demeanor, and maybe your buddy isn't like the best character to be hanging around with.
What did he say? He was $6 billion in debt.
Yeah, I think he was the most out of any of them in that room.
Yeah. So what kind? He's stealing from everyone. Then I mean, you're $6 billion in debt. You're not.
Grandmas, old
Yeah.
ladies down the streets, your buddies, work, whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, yeah, I think he overlooks that because I don't even know, just thinks he's so smart.
I was talking to somebody at one of the shops and whatnot, and so his character fits perfectly. You watch anime, right?
I mean,
What's
no.
the no? Sorry. What's that Titan though one you were talking about?
Attack on Titan.
Attack
I do
on
watch
Titans.
that one.
Okay, so shows like that. Whenever when you see like human characters in shows like that, they're always like crazy dramatized. Like when they're reacting to something,
Mhm.
his character, the main character in Squid Games, looks like they ripped him right out of like one of those types of cartoons.
Yeah.
Right, just very like, oh, what do you say? Oh my god.
I never thought about that. That is,
Yeah.
I agree.
And so I wonder if that was like intentional.
Yeah, it could be. And then everyone else is calm, or not calm, but just not like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one else is like him.
No, not a single person. Yeah.
They're all slow moving and.
Very calm, collective. Everybody's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they have the 4 of them, the crew.
The crew, you've got
crew.
the Indian guy, the old guy, and then the 2 friends. And
Friends with quotes.
Yeah, right? keep your enemy,
one guy's
friends
friend,
close and your
the other
enemies
guy's
closer.
Enemy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of cool. Well, weird that the Indian guy was like, "Oh, you want me on your team?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Huh." He never felt wanted. I like that. I like that a little bit.
Right.
You know, it's nice to be wanted sometimes.
He seems genuine.
He does.
Carries through to the 4th episode. He does seem like a genuine dude.
Mm-hmm.
I will say you start to, and maybe it changes, but you do kind of start to like love his character.
Okay.
Right. I would say at this point he's the one I'm rooting for.
Okay.
Probably.
Can there be more than one winner?
Not yet. Not as far as like the rules go and what we've been told so far. Not yet.
Okay. I was just wondering because
you can't right. They have a pack. They have a group of 4. You definitely cannot finish as a group of 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says that.
No, but it's
you wouldn't get to split the money like if there's.
Yeah, because they. I'll have to look it up, but I do.
I mean, don't
think
look
they
it up
had
because
to.
you're gonna give something away.
Yeah,
I guess we'll
should.
just finish the episode.
Yeah, we'll finish it. But I thought when they were explaining it, it says they'll work down to 1 participant, and then that person will leave with the
Gotcha.
bot. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong though.
No, it's a very interesting concept. I like the idea of episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
And getting into it, why they came back, and that was cool. And then episode 3 was cool with the honeycomb.
Yeah.
And licking it. And the one
smart.
guy, he got it was I wonder. I want to try that, but I don't.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, but it's kind of hard.
To lick honeycomb.
I'm surprised that one people didn't get caught cheating with the
lighter.
I don't know how.
I don't get that. Right underneath the stairs, there's people next to them.
They're watching everything.
What cameras everywhere, right? So the slide could block the cameras, sure, maybe. But then you had people everywhere, and they were keeping an eye on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody shuffle underneath the slide. It's like, hey, what's he up to?
Mm-hmm.
And then lighters aren't silent.
Nope.
That flint flicking makes a pretty distinct noise. Right? I don't know. So that part was cheesy.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And then give it to the snake face, and then
Mm-hmm. Mr. Honey Badger himself.
Honey Badger. But overall, I do like it so far.
I will say
it's better than I thought it was going to be.
I am dying for you to see the 4th episode.
Really?
Yep.
I'll go home tonight and I'll watch it.
You should.
And then
I'll talk to you about it tomorrow.
And then I can't because Rachel will be passed out when I get home. I'll have good intentions when I get home, and then she'll pass out, and I'll go play video games.
Wink.
Play video games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the episode tomorrow.
Yeah, then we'll talk about the episode.
But no, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool. I'm not gonna give it away. Okay, it's very intense, and it's a lot of people do die, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want you to. I wish I didn't watch this episode because I want to talk to you about this episode.
You know, I wish they came out with 1 episode at a time.
Yeah.
Because then you get to actually talk about it. That's what I kind of miss a little bit about old school. We talked about
waiting and building that anticipation.
And you actually get to talk to people about it and actually hear their opinions, ideas, different angles. It's so much.
Because now you just binge the whole show, and then somebody asks you, "Hey, what'd you think of that show?" That was good.
Yeah, and you miss the small details.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
From
miss
a
that.
director standpoint or the people making it, you probably do get a little ticked off because it's like we put all this time and effort into making something amazing for you, just for you to binge the whole thing, forget half of what we showed you, and you're just like, yeah, it was good.
And yeah, Netflix does that.
Yeah, but that is what gave them the edge, and that's why Netflix is such a dominant player in the field now. Yep. So we are on episode 3. Yeah, I mean, excited so far. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I am too. I'm with you. I enjoy it so far. I want to see what's next, and can't wait to watch episode 4 in a week.
It's so good. It's so good. I can't wait. The other one that so I did actually start this one, and I did actually stop watching this one because I fell asleep. We watched this one so late. Tiff fell asleep first, and then I fell asleep.
What?
Dune. It looks so amazing. This is the remake of the original from way back in the day. There was a movie, a TV show. Not a lot of people know about the TV show, but the lore inside of Dune is so deep. So it is part 1 So obviously there's going to be 3 or maybe 4 parts to this movie. So really, this movie that just came out, think of it as like chapter 1.
Okay.
But it's not like your typical science fiction movie. So when you look up the trailer for this movie, it does have some, I don't remember which article or whatever said this, but spot on. They compared this movie, they say that this is the next Lord of the Rings or Star Wars franchise. Just because it's good. There's so much to it that each like component of it. So like when you're watching Star Wars, you're seeing everything happen, and then you have these characters like Boba Fett that are deeply rooted with their own backstories and stuff. This show is like that. There's so much going on, small, big, whatever, stuff that predates this and stuff that leaves you hanging. At least from the first one, but it leaves you hanging for more. And there's just so much you could spin off of this. So definitely well done. The first everything I'm saying is based off the first one, but I know about Dune.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely well done. Really surprised it didn't pick up more traction like Star Wars, but I think this one will.
You think this one's going to come back and be like, oh, this one's really good.
Mm-hmm.
You think over time, when the second, third, fourth one come out, this one's going to be like, wow, like Iron Man 1 that came out. I loved Iron Man 1.
Mm-hmm.
Came out, and then you watch the second, third, and you're like, oh, man, Iron Man 1's really awesome. You think that's going to be like this?
Yeah, but I hope that it gets better and better.
You don't think Iron Man got better and better? I agree, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, okay, yeah. So
But I think that this is going to be, I guess what I'm getting at is like when you say like great movies in history, people do say Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, maybe The Matrix,
Gladiator,
like cult classics and stuff that instantly become one. And I think that Dune is going to become what people talk about. Yeah.
It's very high expectations.
Yeah, it's good. And honestly, I only got, I think it was 15 minutes into this movie. So
how'd you watch this movie?
My ways.
What ways? You went to the theater and got some popcorn, and you got some not Coca-Cola and some stuff.
Oh, let's just say I'm a pretty big tech guy, and anything that comes out, I am aware of it and I can see it.
Oh, legally. Yeah. Got it.
I mean, there's gray areas.
Yeah, definitely some gray area.
Yeah.
So she fell asleep. You only watched 15 minutes of it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was that good.
It looked very promising.
You had the idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, everything I'm saying is based off of the first one. This one did not look bad in the 15 minutes. It actually looked very cool. There's a lot that gets presented to you in 15 minutes.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
No, I am going to see it. I don't know how or when, but I definitely want to see it, and I think I should.
Yeah.
And actually, when you probably watch it in a week, probably, when Tiffany, 15 minutes every night for the next week, you should probably finish it in a week.
Yeah. No, we're watching it this weekend.
Mm-hmm. This whole week. I gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha.
It did pretty well in the box office. Did $40 million the first weekend, and so far has done $220 million globally.
What is that compared to other movies in the past?
Other movies in the past, are we talking about the other franchise ones like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
I know we're in a weird time, but I was just wondering.
Yeah, so, and inflation to some degree because those movies
are expensive now. Actually, yeah.
Right. Well, let's do Lord of the Rings. What was the first one called?
Fellowship of the Ring.
All right, let's just type in that.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Of the Ring. It's so hard to type like sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Box office weekend.
You want me to just text Jeff, ask him?
Oh, Jeff. Remind me to talk to you about that in a little bit. I saw a piece of his book, and I was talking to him a little bit about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I will say it isn't published. But he's so close, so close. All right. So opening weekend, Fellowship of the. I know, dude. I know.
Okay. Stay focused.
All right. So Fellowship of the Ring did 47 million box office weekend, and so compared to Dune.
What year was that?
This was in 2001. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's
20 years.
Okay, well, it did better.
It did better for back then too. Okay.
Yeah.
But
But 40 million in a malware day and age, I would say that's pretty good.
What did
Black Widow
Yes, that's the
didn't
one.
even break 500, and it's been out for a little
500 what?
million.
Was it supposed to? No, what the weekend.
Oh, the weekend?
No. Like, what did
You can't look at so the box office weekend that Dune did.
Mhm.
You can't look at Black Widow that way because you can. Let's look at it that way. What I was gonna say is it was on a streaming service as well as
But they can still put the numbers out, couldn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they want it to.
They like showing those numbers.
Mm-hmm. Only if they're good though.
Yeah, only.
So we might not see anything.
Oh,
What are you typing? What are you typing?
I meant to do that, and then I meant to type this.
And you think you can out type me?
I can out 10 key this guy any day. Its opening weekend, the film made 80 million at domestic. Why did it do so bad in 60 million streaming? Black Widow, but it hasn't. Gamble didn't pay off. Why everybody's saying that this movie has not done good?
It just wrecked Dune.
Yeah, it's Marvel.
It wrecked it. Isn't Dune? No, Dune is not Marvel. It's Warner Brothers?
Last week, huh?
What's Dune? Warner Brothers or Marvel?
No. Yeah. Dune is not. I don't know who. I don't know who made Dune.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Relevant.
But let's see here. So, Black Widow posted 26.3 million last weekend, a 67% drop at the box office. Overall, then revenues anywhere from. Oh, so they estimated it to make 92 to 100 million on the opening weekend. I don't know, but it hasn't. So when we made that podcast talking about it, it hadn't broke 500 million, which I guess is really low for Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, you say to put up 80 million?
Yeah.
Plus 60 million.
140.
140.
That's a good chunk of change. Maybe it didn't do as bad as I thought. Can't trust everything you read online.
No, you can't.
But that being said, it was a terrible movie. It wasn't terrible.
It was okay.
There was just room for improvement.
It was okay. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't as bad as you brought it to me to be.
The first part's good.
I did like the first.
It's not until, for me, they follow their parents and they get over to the countryside, like where she lives. I guess it's really when like Hopper and when the parents get into it a little more is where I'm just.
It doesn't make sense how the parents, all of a sudden are on their team. It's like, why didn't you try to get them out ever?
Yeah.
Before.
Right. They seem like they're this family oriented, like, oh, we're so excited to see you. You know, if you were, you would have tried to reach out and get them before.
Yeah, you would have. She's by herself hoarding pigs, and he's in jail, but he's stronger than anyone. So I mean, it's like they didn't try.
No, they're like, let him rot.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't know.
That part. So Hopper's character was just super corny.
Yeah,
did it not feel like it was out of a DC movie?
I felt like he was like a downgraded Captain America.
Yeah. Like
like a dumber
Russia's version of Captain America. Captain Russia, Captain USSR.
What was he? The Red Warrior.
Yeah, it's cheesy. It's just dumb. And then when they got to the facility, up in the sky, right?
Yep.
Yeah, up in the sky, where that guy was. That it just wasn't. I don't know. It just fell short. But okay, so overall, the whole theme was kind of comedy with Hopper and everything. It was like action, depressing, comedy. And then, but her character is such a BA. It just needed to be like a serious, almost like Endgame vibe, like dismal, like, you know, everything's, you're going to lose everything if this doesn't work type thing. And I don't know. I think it would have been a better action movie that way.
Yeah, I mean, they had all the. Yeah, it was okay. Didn't like. They had the antidote, and I'll throw it on you. You're good. Now you're good.
Yeah.
Now you're good.
Cheesy.
It was a little weak on that point. And then he, put some pheromone on himself that you can't kill him.
Right.
Come on.
Surrounds himself by ladies and he douses himself in pheromones.
Keeps him away from him.
What a pimp. Gator don't play like that.
Yeah, so it was okay. I would say you watch it for her backstory. I like backstory movies.
What'd you think of her sister?
Yeah, she was all right.
Promising. It was definitely a passing of the torch moment.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
Felt like that when you're watching it.
So it felt like she's gonna be involved more, and then at the very cutscene at the very end, post credit.
Yeah. That part, I was like, what the heck?
You know what's happening now.
Yeah. She's being recruited by the bad guys. And which is crazy because she was fighting with Natasha to be good, to get away from the bad guys.
She might not have known who Hawkeye was to her, though.
True.
She might not know that they were literally best friends.
But so actually, that's a part that I really did not agree with, actually, when we watched that. So because of Endgame, post-snap, it was like everywhere. So like everybody knew Thanos at that point, right? There was all these therapy groups. There was posters everywhere. There was no way in heck that the news wasn't covering the Avengers as a whole.
Yeah.
That would have been global news because it impacted the universe.
Yep.
So there's no way, I don't care if she lived underground and then all of a sudden just popped up right before this movie was filmed. She would see posters of the Avengers together. Yeah. And their stories would be told on 60 Minutes, whatever they have in this universe. Like, it didn't seem, for a movie that really tries to focus on details and makes it realistic, it didn't seem realistic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Totally. Yeah, because the Avengers are everywhere. They save the universe, kind of, and then they, really save the universe. And so, yeah, I don't know how she would live under a rock because she's about intelligence, because that's what they're about, intelligence and getting the details. So and even if she were to join that group, she would still be about the details.
Yeah.
And she would do her own research as well.
Just hop on Google for a second. She would see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always fought with each other. They never, even when they fought against each other, they didn't really, they didn't hurt each other, in Civil War.
Guaranteed when she gives herself up for the Soul Stone, that story had to have been told, because people would have asked, how did you guys get the stones? How did you guys save the universe? And Hawkeye would just be like, this is what happened. Romanoff sacrificed herself.
He's not going to tell people, we both went to the island and one of us came back. What happened to her? Nothing.
Right.
That story's going to get told.
Yeah.
Going to get told in multiple ways, and all the sacrifices every Avenger made for him. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you know that?
Exactly.
So, I agree. I didn't.
If it was a movie that didn't focus on details, I'd be like, all right, whatever, Hollywood. But because they do, and they do such a good backstory, and they like try to interweave this giant MCU universe together, it's like, I don't buy that part.
Yeah, no, I agree with your assessment on that. It's well thought out. So, but I mean that means she'll be in Hawkeye, and so we'll get to see.
And the direction, but I think she'll come full circle. Obviously, she'll realize he's a good dude.
Yep.
Become part of the Avengers, I would assume.
Are they Avengers? Because they're not avenging anymore.
Oh, they're the Revengers.
The Revengers. Who are they going to fight against?
They're just
revenge against who?
They're gonna, just probably revive Thanos and just kill him again.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thanos had good intentions.
They're gonna have to, whether they like it or not, any character that stays behind is gonna have to deal with Kang.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be
together.
You can't break up the boy band completely.
No.
Yeah.
No. You can't ever break up like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. Not really.
Backstreet's back. All right. Yeah. So good. I'm glad you finally watched that.
Yeah.
It is. It wasn't as terrible as I was making it out to be, but it wasn't as great as you wanted it to be.
It's not the Marvel standard's so high.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
That's it right there. The Marvel standard is so high, and that it was one of the biggest movies since Endgame.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Biggest produced budgeted movie since Endgame, and with a leading character, because all we had were TV shows up until then. So I think expectations were definitely high.
I think that's part of it. If you would have watched it as one of the first ones coming out, which it probably should have been.
Yep.
That would have. I bet you it changed
around like when Iron Man 2 or something was coming out. Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. I think I would have. I probably would have loved it at that point.
Yep. I think it's just timing was bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You guys screwed up.
You done goofed.
Done goofed, Disney. Yeah. And then I do want to just slip this in here really quick. Actually, before I do slip this little tidbit of tech news. Yeah, I got some tech for you guys. I'm so excited. I do just want to say, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out when you guys like, comment, and hit that little subscribe button and bell notification so you know when we drop another video. Helps us out. We're trying to grow. Our goal right now, we're thinking small, but we're thinking long term. We want to really just get to 500 subscribers at the moment.
500 subs. That was our goal from before we started filming.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
500 subs.
It's tiny. Help us out. Every little bit does. Yeah. Tell your friends. Tell your sisters, your grandmas. Tell the person down the street.
Your grandma. She's going to be super interested.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Gam's going to love us.
Love us.
Just yell it to your neighbors.
Here's that voice, that deep voice. Looks at me.
Yep.
Look at that nerd.
Talking
Look
nerdy.
At those nerds.
Yeah. I'm like a modern day, who's that guy that...
George Michaels. That's who I was thinking. That's exactly who I was thinking.
Who's the slick, suave guy from back in the day that I think he sang Putting on the Ritz?
I don't know. I only know George Michaels.
Oh, man. There was like way before Elvis. I'm not going to look it up, but there was actually, I'm going to look it up.
I'm not going to look it up. Yeah, I am going to. Putting on the Ritz. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Not that guy.
That is exactly who I was thinking.
Oh, man. But
wow.
That's
who you're thinking?
Nope. That's crazy.
Can you please put that on the screen?
I could probably flash that up there. Maybe it wasn't Putting on the Ritz, but
no, it was.
So the very there's a singer guy who's kind of like Ricky from I Love Lucy, just very suave. Like all of our grandparents probably listened to him. Frank Sinatra is who I was trying to think of. Yes, there we go.
I know who that is.
Frankie Frank.
This guy.
That
no.
guy.
Taco. Putting on the Ritz. That's the image Justin showed me of himself, and that's.
He looks like he just rolled into a Taco Bell drive-thru, and he's super excited. Just.
Wow.
Can't imagine he's a lady killer.
He is a lady killer. Gloves.
Wow, that's I could have gone my whole life without seeing that one.
I'm good.
But yeah, so definitely subscribe. Hopefully you're having fun. Maybe learning something. Just help us keep going.
Comments. If we say something wrong, comment. Tell us.
Comment.
Tell us Justin's wrong. I would love to hear that. Justin, you screwed up on that one. Colby, you look good. Justin, you screwed up on that one. Stuff like that.
Except for Squid Games. Just don't comment on that one until we finish it. We would 100% appreciate it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But so now I'm going to dive into my neck of the woods. I get very excited about hardware. I love it. I love it. I love it. He just got the iPhone 13, which just dropped. I was pretty excited when that dropped, but this is game changing, literally, for anybody who plays games, anybody who's into computers, anybody who's into freaking anything. Intel just dropped their new CPU, and it brought a whole lot of changes with it that are going to affect and impact everybody moving forward. So their Intel i9 12900K is their new 10 nanometer platform. They went down from 14 nanometers, but really it's just marketing at this point because you can't measure the FinFETs as they get so tiny and whatnot. But so it's cool because it brings it's pretty much like kicking in turbo into your computer.
What's a FinFET?
FinFETs?
Yeah,
FinFETs are
just for the people out there who don't know what that means.
So these are the gates, the transistors in a CPU that literally turn. When you hear ones and zeros, everything's binary or whatever. So when electricity comes in, say you ask your CPU to open up YouTube or something, that command gets sent to the CPU, and inside your CPU where you have billions of transistors, that request comes in and lights up these little transistors, and some of them will open, turning into a 0, or some of them will close into a 1. I might have that one backwards, but all those happen, and then that's translated into like a command or data or whatever. So these gates, these little switchboards or transistors, as they get smaller and smaller and smaller, one, you use less electricity, it becomes more efficient, but the smaller they get and closer compact together, that's less distance. You're talking microns that electricity has to travel, and that's when commands, actions start happening a lot quicker. Right? Yeah, dropping some cold, nerdy facts on you. But, so they went from 14 nanometers. You used to actually be able to physically measure the nanometers, but now they're too small. It's marketing. But so they went down to 10 nanometers. The 12900K is going to be the king CPU for gaming, outbeating anything AMD has right now. But with it brought some cool technologies, one that I can relate to you. But so you get DDR5 RAM. For the longest time, we've been on DDR4, which 3200 megahertz is the clock cycles, the speed of the RAM, how fast it can send information back and forth to the CPU. The DDR5 is such a huge jump. 3200 was considered what enthusiasts have. Like, that's what I put in your computer.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fast RAM. Mine's 3600.
Yours is always better than mine.
Dude, I love it. But yeah, so 3600. If you weren't an enthusiast, chances are you probably got 2133 or 2666. And I only say that just because this jump to DDR5 RAM bumps it up. You can get 6800 megahertz, which is the speed for your RAM. That's more than doubling what we have. Well, no, that's more than doubling what a lot of people have. Ours, it would pretty much be double or a little less than double. But so that's how fast your CPU can pull information when it needs to. The other technology to that is the PCI slot where your graphics card slips into, where your NVMe drive uses the lanes to the CPU. That got a massive boost. It was on PCI Express 4.0. Now it's on 5.0. Information is all right. Example. So before this podcast, we were looking up the hard drive, that little stick of gum hard drive that you have on your motherboard. So ours transfers at 2500 megahertz, or not megahertz, megabytes a second is the sequential read-write speeds. As it writes to it or pulls information from it, it can do it at 2500 megabytes a second, and that's on PCI 3.0. is what we have. 4.0 just came out and it's already been superseded. But the PCI Express 5.0, there's already a hard drive prototype out there, and I am talking about NVMe drives, that can do 14,000 megabytes a second. When you go to open up your game, that CPU can pull 14,000 megabytes a second compared to our 2,500 off of the hard drive. Games are going to load so fast, you're going to get right into the game. Every action that you're doing in it, when it needs to pull more data on the map you're on, like World of Warcraft stuff loads in the background kind of as you're walking up to it.
Kind of, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of just comes into focus on World of Warcraft, but all that kind of stuff is going to be so quick, so snappy. Like, this is going to be a game changer. Your computer will boot up instantly.
All three of these coming out at the same time?
Yeah,
or are they all connected?
All connected. So you have AMD, Intel that makes CPUs, and AMD a year or two ago did bring PCI 4.0, but that was it. They didn't bump up the RAM at all, so you had a little more bandwidth from your graphics card or anything.
Is that just a filler for this one?
Well, there are two companies that are trying to like one up each other.
Oh, okay.
So AMD was banking on PCI 4.0 being enough.
Mm-hmm.
Intel has been behind on the game. AMD was making better CPUs. So these technologies can't come out until one of these chip makers says our chips are going to support it. So Intel was like, we've been behind. We're coming out of the gate swinging. We're going to give you the next generation PCI slots as well as the RAM slots. And so collectively, with a pretty ballin' CPU and these super fast RAM slots or sticks that you can now get, and bigger bandwidth on your motherboard, this thing, it would have been good news CPU alone. That would have been, hey, cool, this is coming out. This is going to be better for gamers. But because you have all three of these technologies coming out, it's probably going to be the equivalent of going from like a hard drive, a spinning disk, which you know how slow those are because our computers at work are
fast.
So fast. You can go get coffee while they're booting up. But going from something like that to your computer, how it boots up, I think you're going to see that much of a difference going from our computers to this platform.
Wow, yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. When are they going to be released?
The CPU just got released today. Well, it got announced today.
Pre-order it.
Yeah, I think November is when it gets released.
Okay.
And then, so you're going to need Z690 motherboards, which is the motherboard that will fit this LGA 1700 socket.
How much would this new setup cost just in that parts alone?
I got an email from Newegg this morning, and the CPU itself is going to be like $649.
$649?
Little expensive. The motherboards are probably going to be, I didn't see any pricing on it, but I would imagine from $300 to $500 as well.
Okay.
And then the RAM. That's the other thing. I know we're not a tech channel on this one, but so like right now you have, is it 16 gigs of RAM?
Sure.
I think you have 32.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think you have 32. So 32 gigs on one RAM stick is a lot. It's more than most people would ever even need. But you have two 16 gig sticks in your computer, so that's a lot. That's enthusiast level. Most people don't even need it. Will never need it. With this next generation DDR5, you can have individual RAM sticks that can have 128 gigs of memory capacity on them. It's just it's a huge leap forward. And now when you have bigger highways for information to travel through, game developers can say, hey, we're going to step up.
Nice.
We're going to throw a lot more stuff in the game. You can interact with more things. You can have more things on screen at any given moment. You can have better graphics because the computer can handle it, render it in real time faster. It's going to be
game changer.
Game changer, literally.
So when are you getting it? Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that for the camera.
I won't. It's so bad.
When is Tiffany not gonna know that you're gonna get it?
I'm gonna have to collect up some blood money
you're gonna
really
get some
quick.
Blood money. Yep. Because you're probably looking at what, 1,500, 1,600, 16.
Yeah. All I would need is the CPU, motherboard, and RAM. Yeah, probably $1,500.
That's not bad.
Chump change.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Yeah.
It's either that or king size candy bars for trick or treaters. I'm gonna go with
king size candy bars, trick or treaters. Absolutely.
Right.
For your 4 trick or treaters that come.
So that was my moment. I just wanted to slip in a little tech because that happened today, and I'm very excited. A lot of people better be excited for this. It's gonna be a game changer. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry about that.
That's way over my head. I mean, I mean, you got excited about it. You did all that off the top of your head, knowing all those weird little numbers. So that's something I know that you were listening to some tech thing today for probably.
I've been researching this CPU for actually months at this point.
Jeez, you are a nerd.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah, and then so all right, we'll touch back on Jeff because so he did see that episode where we gave a shout out.
How did he see it?
We sent it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, and he did watch the whole thing. But so he was like, oh, you guys talked about my book on there. What he had asked me was not to say what the book's going to be called because it is not published. And he said it is okay. He is far enough, and he's got it in the works already where he's protected if I talk about some of the details in it.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. So he's really far. And what I'm excited for, I think I'm going to read his books because he's got a few
books.
Books. He's got books. So one of them is you know that Marvel show What If?
I do.
So this one at least is like it's a better version of What If. So it follows Dobby from Harry Potter.
Dobby the house elf.
The house elf.
That's what I named my cat. So.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So
stupid cat.
So it starts when Harry Potter gave Dobby a sock that frees Dobby.
So he goes into the Harry Potter world. Okay. I
Yep.
didn't think that would be his first book I didn't think that's where he'd go. But yes.
I don't know if he's got a book on the MCU.
Really?
And I don't know if it's like a what if, but Yeah, I don't know if this is his first book either, but so we were going over this one, and so in this one, it actually changes the story quite a bit differently because it's like a what if. So Harry gives Dobby the sock. Dobby is free. Dobby has a huge grudge on his shoulder because in this story, he actually seen, and you don't really dive too far into Dobby's life. You just know he was captive pretty much his whole life because house elves are. But he had seen Voldemort, he who shall not be named, kill his parents.
Okay.
So he's got a huge chip on his shoulder. When Harry gives him the sock, he doesn't hang out. He's not timid, and he's not like still trying to please Harry Potter. He actually flees.
Okay.
And
because he's a free elf.
He's a free elf. He jumps on that, utilizes that, and he's gone. And so the story follows him as he's tracking down Voldemort. And in it, he actually befriends, what's that blonde idiot's name? The one Harry Potter hates?
Draco
Malfoy. So he befriends him to get closer to Voldemort. And I will say, this is going to be one of like the twists in the book, but so he finds out through Draco that so this is kind of like later on as the stories progress, but he finds out that Harry is a Horcrux.
Okay.
So to defeat Voldemort, Harry
he messes him up.
Has to go. So what he does is he does deceive Harry Potter. He does actually get Harry Potter at some point in this book into the prison of Azkaban. As he gets arrested. He's in the prison. Harry is.
So he frames him.
And so Harry is dealt with. He's kind of in a standstill limbo in the book for a bit. And when Dobby goes through and destroys these Horcruxes, now he comes back as like Harry Potter's savior, frees him from this prison. And what he ends up doing is there's a spell, I forgot the name of the spell that gets used, but it ends up, so he first starts it on Voldemort. It's weakening Voldemort, and Harry's like, this isn't, it's not going to work. Harry knows at this point he is a Horcrux too, but he doesn't want to tell Dobby this because he sees the evil coming out of Dobby.
Gotcha.
Well, Dobby does already know that he's a Horcrux, and so uses this spell to weaken Voldemort, and then asks, so he put a spell on the wand that he's handing to Harry Potter, and he's like, I need you, so he has a second wand, he's like, I need you to say this spell with me, and both of us together should be able to do this. What ends up happening is that Harry goes to do, he knows Harry's not going to do that spell, so how it's set up is if he says any other spell, it like poisons Harry Potter, and it's like a quick poison, so ultimately Harry ends up dying. He kills Voldemort, and it continues past that a little bit, and he goes after all the people that have house elves as slaves.
So he starts
Robin Hood. It's like a pretty crazy what if Dobby had a chip on his shoulder.
Did you read the whole thing or like?
I did read a good chunk, and then I was just talking to him about it because I was like, this is actually pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow. And so he was like, yeah, it's, he's like, I don't even know if this could ever be a thing. It's definitely going to be an online book. I don't know. I didn't talk to him about the legalities of it because obviously it's on somebody else's story.
Gotcha. Quick question. How many books does he plan on writing?
He says he actually writes a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, he writes a lot. This is what I didn't realize that he does. This is his thing. Yeah, and so this kind of what if spinoff on Harry Potter, when it's done, I'm going to read the whole thing.
No, that's going to be good. I might have to actually read it.
Right?
I might have to read. Does he have any, so I want to ask this because you talk to him more than I do. I was just going to ask, do you know if he's going to have like a Who I Am? Like after these books are published or whatever.
Oh, kind of the man behind the curtain?
Yeah, man behind the curtain. Like who he is. Like this is how he came to be, why he hates everything. Like why he hates NASCAR. That's just a random thing. Yeah. I know he hates NASCAR. And it keeps getting brought up, but I know he hates NASCAR, but why? Yeah. Why does he love Will Ferrell so much? Like what did Will Ferrell do for him? in his
It'd
life.
be smart to do like an autobiography type thing.
Yeah,
and maybe he's trying to like just get his stuff out first, become known, and then he'll maybe do an autobiography. But I think it would be very smart too.
I think it would too.
Yeah, because like from what we know of the guy, we could write an autobiography for this guy, or enough stuff to
he
like.
Would hate it.
He would hate it.
He wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're not on his level.
No, we're still not. Did he comment on our show? On anything? Has he watched our show?
I didn't ask him. I was actually just excited that he watched the episode we kind of made for him. I'll have to ask him though. Yeah.
He didn't say anything though. He didn't say anything?
No.
Oh gosh.
No, I know, he's such a punk. Oh man, this is definitely, like you were saying, this is almost like an ode to him. He was the inspiration for this, so he better
if he gets on the comments and like writes a paragraph about everything.
Right.
I don't know if we'll. Yeah.
Here's something I didn't know about him though. So he is also into toy trains.
Toy trains?
Toy trains. He's got toy trains at home. You know, like when people have like the basement and the full like train. Yeah. Yeah. He's the conductor when he's home.
He conducts it.
So he's got the black and white striped hat.
You know this.
He threw it out there. He asked me if I was into trains.
Was he just feeling you out?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not into trains. So
did you tell him that?
Yeah, I just said
or did you say,
never.
yeah, that's kind of cool?
I said that. Of course I said that's cool. I didn't want to beat a horse while he's down.
You can edit that out so he doesn't see it.
Yeah. No, but yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. I honestly didn't think you were into that either.
So conductor hat and all?
Conductor
hat. How
hat.
many pieces does he have?
So he's got he called them engines, which I think is just that first part, the front of the train. So he said he has like 30 something engines. He was talking there. I guess there's two types of track systems that you can put the trains on. Like you can get
like the wood ones that I used when I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I'm just
no. I forgot what he got into it. He was like, when you go to get a train set, you have to either look for this or you have to look for this type, and it's almost like they're puzzle pieces that won't fit together. Yes,
like Playmobil on Legos.
Yeah, it's like you can get the Jericho set or you can get the Tamagotchi set. Your trains,
Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, right? It's the same thing, but they're different. So he was pretty into it, and yeah, he's like, so he's got the smoke. Some of the engines do smoke. They all make noise.
Should we buy him a whistle?
Ooh,
a train
nice
whistle?
Brass train whistle.
I didn't know that. I don't know.
Jeffrey.
Did he deal? Does his family know about it? Obviously.
Yeah, his wife knows.
Does she do it with him?
He said, well, no, I doubt it. He said that she wasn't really into it. He spends a lot of money on it. So.
Like how much?
Did
he give you a number?
He didn't give me a number. I bet it's a lot.
Did you Google how much these?
We should.
What are they called? Engines?
Engines, yeah. Let's see. Train models. Or model trains, I guess. Holy.
So that one's $288.
For just that piece. Holy cow. And
he's 30 of them, you said?
Yeah, he's got 30 something of them. Holy cow.
You should ask him how much footage of track he's got down there.
Yeah.
Does he like decorate it like a town?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got the shrubberies. He's got the little tunnels that they can go through.
So he like
and he's got like
glues it down and everything, and like has people like waving at each other and stuff like that.
Yep. Little water towers. He's got drawbridges.
Did he take a picture of it for you?
Nah, he's just explaining it. I do want to see it though. I do want to see it. Let's see. 2 types of model trains. Train scale and gauge. That's it. So what is the difference between HO and O scale trains? I guess that was that's a scale thing.
Like
okay.
The size of everything?
Yeah, so it can be 1/4 inch scale or
1/8.
1/48. Oh, 8. Oh, okay. Yeah. 8. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, 1/4 inch to the real thing or 1/8, and he's got the 1/4. Of course, he's got the bigger ones. Yeah. So, I mean, this guy, he's into it. He's not into racing, but he said it's like a.
Does he race his trains? Maybe because this is like
do
real
they do
racing.
train racing?
I don't know. Does he?
Maybe.
I bet he does. I bet
I'm gonna
that's
ask
why.
him.
And I bet you. Here's what I think. This
Mhm.
is based on every information you told me. Here's what happens. He raced trains as a kid,
Oh.
and some people around him said that's not real racing.
And he got mad.
And
And
he
he
got
said,
mad.
"Screw racing. I
Mhm.
don't like it." Like some
Mhm.
people like NASCAR. Some people
then-
like he doesn't like sprint cars either.
No.
We went down to that thing, that sprint car.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. It was the National Outlaws, and he didn't like it. We were walking around and I was telling him about some of the drivers and stuff and how the vehicles work and everything, and he was just like, "Why did I come down here?" He was probably thinking I could have been driving my trains.
Why didn't he be conductor? Should have been a conductor.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Still can.
I guess it kind of goes when you said he probably doesn't have a life outside of this stuff. I know he just sits in his basement all day playing with the
And
trains.
listens to lore and plays with trains with
Probably
conductor hat.
Lord of the Rings on an audiobook while he's got his conductor hat on and just toot toot.
Toot toot.
But yeah, so he's got the O scale trains. For anybody that is into trains as well. Yeah, he's pretty big into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
If he sees me laugh at this, I'm in a world of hurting.
We're not laughing at it. We're laughing.
I
with
didn't
you.
know it was real. I knew it was real. I didn't know anyone around me was real.
I thought that was an old timey thing.
I think it is. So do you think he races trains?
Man, I want to see that.
I think that's what he races. I'm telling you, something happened when he was a kid.
Right.
With I don't know, NASCAR or whatever, not NASCAR, whatever, sprint car or 50cc or whatever, 150, whatever 750. I don't know what they do.
I don't even know the CCs.
But he probably didn't know either.
No,
he just knows.
know.
I got my O scale.
O scale train set. Yeah, down in my basement. You got my conductor hat, and I'm just sending supplies from one town to the next and making sure trains don't collide. Oh, yeah, he said that's kind of the fun. So he's got multiple trains that run at the same time, and so the tracks intersect as they do in real life. And I guess that's the fun of it, is he gets into like this zen, this is meditation. You just send all these trains out, and you're conducting, you're switching the tracks as they intersect, and he just loves making sure that they get to their destination without...
He's like Mozart.
Conducting, yeah.
Just like watching him go, and you go there. Or like a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's like, you go there, you go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, the more he's like an onion. The more you peel back, the more you learn about this guy.
We got to get him on here.
Gotta get him on.
Yeah, we got.
I don't know if we're gonna talk about trains when he's on here, but we might bring it up.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, it's nerdy.
It is
actually 100% nerdy.
It's nerdier than this show. We're not laughing at you.
Jeff, you take the cake.
He's bigger than me.
He is. Yeah. Did he play football?
I think so.
Probably Madden.
Probably not Madden. Definitely not Madden.
Yeah. Oh man.
Play football?
I don't think he did.
No way.
Yeah, he's not a football type.
No, he didn't even like football.
Never heard him talk about the Seahawks.
I have told I know he lives near a school, and he says he does not drive by it when they have games. He doesn't even want to be there.
Wow.
So I know he does not like football.
Wow. Yeah. No, so he's not into like popular stuff. No, I don't want to say popular, really. I just want to. I guess it's just everything nerdy. He just loves, the lore of stuff, and he loves just being in his basement with his trains and.
Teach their own, I guess.
Yeah, he's not an outdoor guy.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. All I've heard him. He just says he goes home.
Yep.
I never knew what he did.
No. Peeled back a layer today. That's for sure.
Huh.
Yeah. Jeff and his train sets. Maybe we'll have to have him bring one up over here. Not obviously not the track. It's not going to work here, but maybe one of those engines. I want to see what a quarter scale engine looks like.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something very nerdy.
Writing books, playing with trains, can school us on anything that we're into.
Does he know more about tech than you? Or is that not up his alley? Or is he more like
I'll have to ask him.
Like, I love the animals. I would never kill one.
Oh, like a hippie?
Yeah, he get hippie. Yeah.
Maybe. Man, does he hunt? No, I guess that'd be an outdoor sport.
No.
He wouldn't be into it.
Does not like outdoors.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably doesn't hunt. Never.
Yeah. He wouldn't even know what to do with a gun, I would imagine.
Or a bow or anything.
Yeah.
He does drive a Geo Metro.
Yeah. It's good on gas mileage.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, that's what he says.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to upgrade soon to like a electric car, I think.
Prius. Toot toot.
Yeah. You could put a little Prius on his train set.
Yeah, there you go.
Train set probably has more power.
Quarter scale Prius on his little train set. Do they make O scale Priuses? Oh man! All right. Well, is there anything else you had on your mind, or?
No. I just want to say thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. We had fun.
Been a blast.
It's been a blast.
We did. Did we say? Did we say that we're on iHeartRadio on this one?
We are on iHeartRadio. Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case we didn't, because we did record a Halloween special today. So that's why the set hasn't changed much. But yeah, just in case, even if you weren't paying attention, we are on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, obviously on YouTube. And soon we're going to try and be on Amazon. So you can say, hey, Alexa, play Talking Nerdy.
Be very crisp with how you say it.
Talking Nerdy.
And you can listen to us at night.
Yeah, when you're going to sleep, just turn off the video part, and this could be your ASMR as you're going to bed.
ASMR. We can do some ASMR. It's not ASMR.
I still don't understand ASMR, and I don't know how to do it.
You will one day.
We might have to do an ASMR episode.
We will do an ASMR episode.
Yeah. Hit that like button, subscribe, and click that bell notification so you get alerted when we drop the next video. And you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for stopping by.
Peace.
Peace.